Welcome everyone. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating survival mechanisms of human body. How fat is transformed into fuel during prolonged fasting. So this is the topic of discussion in today's video. So in case of a prolonged fasting, what happens actually? There is a decrease in the glucose level in our body. Glucose acts as the primary energy source for our body. Means for our bodily functions, glucose is required. And when glucose is not available in our body due to unavailability of foods or during prolonged periods of fasting, so in that case, what happens? Our liver produces ketone bodies, a special kind of molecules from fatty acids. And these ketone bodies act as the energy source for our body. Okay, there are some energy hungry organs in our body. Yes, those organs are known as energy hungry organs because a constant supply of energy is required for those organs. Okay, those organs are such as brain, our heart, then muscles, liver, kidneys. These are known as energy hungry organs. A constant source of energy is required for their functions. Okay, so that's why what happens in case of prolonged fasting, glucose is not there. So in that case, ketone bodies are produced by our liver from fatty acids. So what happens? Let's see. So I have already told what are ketone bodies. These are produced by liver. So there are three main types of ketone bodies. Acetoacetate. This is the first one. Second one is beta hydroxybutyrate, and third one is acetone. These molecules act as the backup energy source for our body. So what happens first? Okay, say just after the fasting, means when fasting begins, our body starts breaking down glycogen stores in our body to produce energy. Okay, first it is glycogen. And this glycogen level is exhausted, these glycogen stores are exhausted only within the first 24 hours of fasting. Thereafter what happens? Thereafter fat stores are there in our body. So in a process, the process is known as a lipolysis. In this process, the fats are broken down into fatty acids and glycerol. Then there is a process known as ketogenesis. In that process, fatty acids are converted into ketone bodies, right? And these ketone bodies act as the energy source for our bodies. So ketone bodies, after production of ketone bodies, they mix with our bloodstream. Means they go to our bloodstream. And thereby they reach to different organs like brain, heart, etc. Ketone bodies. Okay. Then what happens? Then acetyl coenzyme A is produced by these ketone bodies, and in a cycle known as a citric acid cycle, or this is also known as a TCA cycle, means a tricarboxylic acid cycle, or this is also known as there is one more name to this cycle. Okay, anyway, so in that cycle the last phase is the production of ATP. In the citric acid cycle, one more name is there. That name is a Craig cycle. The same cycle is known as citric acid cycle, Craig cycle, and what? TCA cycle. So in the last phase, what happens? the production of ATP, which is known as what? ATP is the energy source. Means actually it is known as the energy currency for cells. ATP means adenosine triphosphate, right? So this ATP acts as the backup energy source when glucose is not there in our body due to prolonged fasting or due to extended periods of fasting. Means when foods are unavailable, proteins are unavailable in our body. So in those cases, fats are being used. Okay. So ultimate product is the ultimate is what? Ultimate product is the production of ketone bodies, and thereby ATP is produced, and that ATP acts as the energy currency for the cells. Our 70% of the brain's demand for energy supply comes from these ketone bodies during prolonged fasting. Not only during fasting, but also during prolonged exercise. Okay, then in case of a carbohydrate restriction or ketogenesis diet, in those cases there is a shortage of glucose. Means there is a shortage in supply of glucose in our body. In those cases, fats are used to produce ketone bodies, and therefore that way our demand for energy is fulfilled for different parts, especially for energy hungry parts or energy hungry organs. Again, due to the presence of this energy, special kind of energy produced from ketone bodies, muscles means due to lack of energy, there may be damage to the muscles. So to prevent damage to the muscles or to prevent a breakdown of the muscles, this energy is used. Again, this way, due to prolonged fasting, since ketone bodies have already been produced in our body, so this way our body enhances the metabolism of fats. This way our body becomes more efficient at using fats during the shortage in supply of glucose in our body. Okay, but there is a problem. Problem is what if in your bloodstream these ketone bodies, level of ketone bodies increase too much. In that case, there is a special case. This enters a special state that state is known as ketosis. But this state is generally safe. But if the ketone body levels becomes higher than that, means when the amounts become significant, in that case there is a chance of ketoacidosis, which is a dangerous condition for our body. Okay, ketoacidosis, when ketone bodies are too much present in your bloodstream. So that is fatal for our body. It's a dangerous condition. Anyway, so I have already discussed the way or the processes by which ketone bodies are produced in our body, and how the demand for energy is fulfilled. Okay, so this happens when? During only fasting, and during other conditions also, different types of diets, when you are not consuming proteins, when you are avoiding carbohydrates. In those cases, fats are used by our body to produce required energy for the different bodily functions. Okay, so this is a wonderful concept created by nature in our body. Okay, means actually this mechanism highlights the adaptability of human body in case of food unavailability. Okay, anyway, so this was all about today's topic, right? So this is the end of this video. Thank you for watching this video.